Beware. God is trying to save you from a man. The name will shock you. My beloved child, tonight a divine whisper has been released into the atmosphere about you, and it carries a weight so heavy that even the heavens paused before sending it. You are not watching this by accident. Your spirit was pulled here because God is trying to save you from a presence that has been draining your energy silently, slowly, invisibly. Someone you never expected, someone whose name will feel like lightning when the truth finally reaches your heart. From the beginning of your journey, this person has watched you not with admiration, but with a hidden intention that God has now exposed. And as you listen, breathe slowly, because every sentence is leading you closer to a revelation that will shift your path. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 111. In this very moment, the spiritual realm is circling around you, trying to block the influence of a man who has stepped too close to your destiny without permission. His words felt warm, his presence felt convenient, and his actions felt harmless, but beneath that mask, a different story was unfolding. God says this man has been studying you, your emotions, your habits, your weaknesses, your silence, trying to figure out how to enter your life in a way that looks innocent but leads to confusion and exhaustion later. You have felt something was off. You have sensed a disturbance every time his name appeared or every time he tried to connect with you. You ignored the signs because your heart is pure, but God never ignored them. That is why you are hearing this message today, to protect you before something irreversible unfolds. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 222. Right now, as this revelation is being delivered, your spirit already knows who this man is. His name is forming in your chest, rising like a memory you tried to push down. God is not revealing this to scare you, He is revealing this so you realize how valuable you are. This man underestimated your worth. He thought he could enter your life and take advantage of your kindness, your truth, your patience, your forgiving heart. But God says, no more. You were not created to be misled, drained, manipulated, or emotionally used. You were created to rise, to build, to grow, to shine. And this man's energy does not match the future God is preparing for you. His name will shock you, not because he is powerful, but because he is someone you trusted, someone you believed was harmless, someone you never suspected. But God is stepping between you and him right now. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 333. My beloved child, listen with a steady heart, because what comes next is the turning point of your story. God says the man he is warning you about has been acting with a double face, one he shows to the world, and one he hides behind closed intentions. His approach toward you was never sudden, it was calculated. He has been observing your shine, your growth, your uniqueness, and somewhere inside him, a quiet envy began to blossom. Not the kind of envy that screams loudly, but the kind that smiles politely while secretly hoping you fail. But now the divine realm has stepped forward to uncover the shadows he tried to wrap around you. The truth is simple. You are being protected because your destiny is too powerful to be influenced by someone whose heart is not aligned with your future. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 444. In the unseen realm, your angels have been fighting a silent battle around you. They have been blocking certain meetings, delaying certain conversations, and interrupting certain moments, just to keep you from falling into the emotional net this man wanted to cast over you. His intentions were not to uplift you, they were to control your decisions, your emotions, your confidence. God says you were inches away from choosing the wrong connection, and this message is heaven's last-minute rescue. Your spirit is being guided into a new chapter where your energy can no longer be manipulated by anyone pretending to care. The truth that is coming will open your eyes so sharply that your entire emotional foundation will shift. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 555. Before this revelation continues, pause for a moment and acknowledge how many times you felt drained after talking to him, how many times your intuition whispered, something is wrong, how many times your peace felt disrupted without knowing why. These were not random feelings. These were your angels trying to make you aware. God says the reason He is revealing this now is because your breakthrough season is approaching, and this man does not deserve to walk into it with you. His name will shock you because you never expected him to be a threat to your peace. But God is removing him, replacing confusion with clarity, and opening a path that will restore your spiritual strength. And my beloved child, before we move to the next part, I invite you with love, comment, Amen, to anchor this protection over your life. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 666. My beloved child, the moment you stepped into this message, a spiritual curtain began lifting, revealing layers of truth that were never meant to stay hidden from you. God says this man has been weaving emotional threads around you, hoping you wouldn't notice the subtle pull he had on your decisions. He wanted access to your vulnerability, not access to your growth. He admired your strength publicly, but privately, he feared the day you would realize your true power. And now that God is exposing him, the mask he wore is beginning to crack. You are being positioned for a new season where your circle becomes pure, clean, loyal, and aligned with your calling. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 777. Watch closely now, because this is where the revelation sharpens. God says the man he is trying to save you from carries an energy that would drain the blessings you're about to receive. His presence in your life was like a quiet storm, silent at first, but ready to destroy when the right moment appeared. He wasn't sent to support your destiny, he was sent to test your intuition. And beloved child, your spirit passed the test. That sudden heaviness you felt around him was not coincidence. Those unexplained doubts, those strange shifts in his behavior, those moments where his words didn't match his actions, those were warning signs from above. Your angels have been guarding your steps, pulling you away from what could have derailed your purpose. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 888. And now, the truth is rising to the surface. The reason his name will shock you is because this man never looked like a threat. He looked normal. Familiar. Safe. Someone whose presence blended into your daily life without raising suspicion. That is why God intervened, because your heart is too genuine, too forgiving, too trusting, and He did not want your kindness to become the doorway to your pain. This man's energy was never meant to sit beside your future. God is preparing a breakthrough, a blessing, a divine rerouting that will lead you into healing, clarity, and a higher purpose. And my beloved child, before we move forward, comment, Amen, to seal this divine protection over your journey. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 999. My beloved child, as this message enters your spirit, the divine realm intensifies its protection around you. God says the man He is warning you about was never placed in your life for your elevation. He was placed as a test of your discernment, a challenge wrapped in a familiar presence. This man carried intentions that were not aligned with your spiritual path, and heaven has been working overtime to shield you from the emotional weight he could have brought into your life. His influence was subtle, crafted to blend into your routines, designed to appear harmless. And yet, every time he tried to step deeper into your world, something mysteriously stopped it: a delayed call, a missed message, an unexpected interruption. These weren't coincidences, these were divine interventions. God is redirecting your steps because your purpose is too mighty to be tangled with someone who does not honor your journey. Your angels are whispering that breakthrough energy is approaching you with great speed, and you must stay focused, preserved, and spiritually guarded. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 10. And beloved child, before we move forward, if this message is resonating deeply with your spirit, do not hesitate, share this message, because someone else may need the same protection your angels are giving you right now. Listen closely now, because this moment carries a shift your soul has been waiting for. God reveals that the man He is saving you from tried to anchor himself in your emotional field, hoping your compassion would blind you to the uneasy signals your intuition kept sending. You felt it, my beloved child, those strange pauses in your mind whenever He spoke, that sudden heaviness in your heart after your conversations, that quiet discomfort you couldn't explain. These were divine alerts, gentle taps on your spirit reminding you that something deeper was unfolding behind the surface. His intentions were wrapped in politeness, but his energy carried a hidden imbalance that could have slowed your progress, distracted your focus, or drained your emotional strength. God says you are about to step into a phase where your blessings multiply, your opportunities open, and your inner power rises. This man could not be allowed to walk into that season with you. The name that will come to your mind may shock you because it belongs to someone you never thought God would warn you about. But the divine realm sees the unseen, hears the unspoken, and understands the unexpressed. And if your spirit feels this truth deeply, comment Amen so your angels continue strengthening your path. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 111. And beloved soul, if this message is awakening clarity within you, gently invite others through sharing, so they too can receive guidance meant for their protection. And now, the revelation sharpens with divine precision. God says the reason He is removing this man from your emotional space is because a new chapter is aligning for you, one that requires peace, clarity, and divine timing. This man's presence was a distraction disguised as comfort, a delay masked as companionship, a misalignment softened by familiarity. But your destiny is entering a season of rapid elevation, and God is not allowing anything, not even a familiar face, to interfere with that rise. The shock you will feel when His name becomes clear is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to show you how deeply and intimately God watches over your life. You are being prepared for connections that uplift your purpose, relationships that feed your spirit, and paths that honor your growth. Every blessing being shaped for you requires a circle free from emotional confusion. You are divinely guided, divinely guarded, divinely chosen. And before this part closes, beloved child, if your heart feels the weight of this truth, share this message, because someone else may be seconds away from the same divine rescue. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 223. And remember, your spirit is rising, your heart is protected, and your destiny is unfolding with unstoppable power. My beloved child, as this message continues flowing through your spirit, the divine realm opens a deeper layer of truth, one that was hidden from your eyes, but never hidden from God. The man you are being protected from carries an emotional frequency that doesn't match the elevation you are stepping into. God says He approached you with soft words, gentle tones, and familiar energy, but beneath that surface, something within Him was unsettled. He wanted something from you, not your love, not your growth, not your happiness, but your attention, your emotional energy, your light. And God stepped in because your light is too precious to be dimmed by someone who does not know how to honor it. Every time you felt confused, drained, or unsure after interacting with Him, that was not your weakness, it was your spirit rejecting what was not meant for you. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 333. Now hear this clearly, because this is the part most people never understand about divine warnings. God does not expose someone to embarrass them. He exposes them to protect you. This man's intentions would have led you into a cycle of emotional imbalance. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, a moment of hope followed by a wave of uncertainty. God saw the pattern forming before you even noticed the first shift. He saw the emotional drain before your heart felt it. He saw the misalignment before your spirit tasted it. And that is why heaven rushed to intervene. The reason His name will shock you is because it belongs to someone who blended into your life so naturally that you never paused to question their intentions. But the divine realm never sleeps. Your angels have been watching every energy that approaches you, and they positioned themselves between you and this man the moment they sensed his spirit was not aligned with your future. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 444. And finally, beloved soul, understand this with the deepest clarity. God is not removing this man from your path to leave you empty. He is removing him to make space for what is truly meant for you. You are entering a season where your heart will be restored, your confidence will be rebuilt, your spirit will be refreshed. This man's presence would have delayed your progress, confused your emotions, and dimmed your spiritual intuition. But God says your destiny cannot afford delays anymore. The blessings coming toward you are too big, too divine, too purposeful. That is why the name of the man being revealed will shock you. It will feel like a truth you sensed but were afraid to accept. But once you embrace it, your path becomes lighter, your heart becomes clearer, and your future becomes stronger. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 555. My beloved child, as you step into this next layer of revelation, the spiritual air around you becomes heavier, not with fear, but with divine truth pressing itself into your awareness. God says the man He is warning you about was never meant to walk beside your purpose. This man carried an emotional shadow, a vibration that clashed with the purity of your heart. He saw your kindness and tried to mold it into an advantage for himself. He saw your patience and mistook it for permission. He saw your silence and believed it meant acceptance. But all along, heaven was watching. God saw every hidden intention, every unspoken thought, every silent motive lodged behind his friendly behavior. He was planning to occupy a place in your life that God never approved. And beloved child, this is the moment where your discernment rises above every illusion he wrapped around you. God allowed you to see small glimpses, tiny cracks in his words, small contradictions in his actions, slight shifts in his tone, so your spirit could recognize the truth before the damage touched your heart. This man's name will shock you because it belongs to someone who blended into your emotional space without raising suspicion. But now the veil is lifting, and God is guiding you away from a bond that would have drained the fullness of your destiny. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing 666. Pay attention now, because heaven is revealing the part of the story that your heart has needed to understand for a long time. God says the emotional conflict you felt around this man was not weakness, it was divine intelligence rising within you. Every time he tried to pull you closer, something inside you tightened. Every time he acted overly sweet, overly available, overly curious about your life, a quiet warning echoed inside your soul. You may not have known why, but your spirit did. Your intuition was screaming without using words. This man carried intentions that would have placed your energy in a cycle of silent frustration. He was drawn to your light, but he did not have the capacity to honor your truth. He liked the idea of you, but not the responsibility of supporting your growth. He admired your strength, but feared your clarity. He wanted proximity to your energy, but not alignment with your future. And God stepped in because your destiny is entering a phase of expansion, big opportunities, strong alignments, divine timing, emotional healing. Anyone who carries confusion cannot walk into that chapter with you. The reason his name will shock you is because he looked harmless, but his presence would have created emotional delays you no longer have time for. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing. And now, beloved soul, embrace this final truth of part 6 with an open heart. God is not only protecting you from this man, he is preparing a divine replacement for everything this connection would have stolen. Where this man carried instability, God will send someone who carries peace. Where he carried hidden motives, God will send someone who carries honesty. Where he carried emotional confusion, God will send someone gifted with clarity. Where he carried a fear of your power, God will send someone who celebrates your rise. God is clearing your emotional path because a new season is forming, one where your heart is not questioned, your value is not doubted, and your spirit is not drained. The man God is removing was a test, not a partner. A temporary presence, not a destiny connection. Not a long-term foundation. His name will shock you because it will reveal how deeply God watches over you, protecting you from dangers you didn't even know existed. And before this chapter closes, beloved child, breathe deeply and anchor this protection in your life by whispering within your heart, Amen. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing. My beloved child, as this revelation deepens, God is pulling you into the center of clarity, a place where illusions break, intentions surface, and truth stands unshaken. The man you are being warned about carried an emotional fog around him, a subtle heaviness you felt but couldn't explain. God says he tried to approach you in a way that looked gentle, humble, harmless, but inside, he was unsettled. He admired your strength but feared your intuition. He liked your presence but disliked your independence. He wanted your energy but didn't want to match it. And heaven saw the conflict forming long before you realized something was off. Every divine message you have received was preparing your spirit for this moment, the moment where the truth becomes undeniable. The name that will rise in your mind may feel unbelievable, but beloved child, heaven is confirming it for a reason. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing. Now understand this, because this is where the divine revelation sharpens into a straight line. God has been shielding you from emotional robbery. There were moments when this man tried to step closer, hoping to form an attachment that looked innocent but carried hidden burdens. He wasn't coming toward you from a place of growth, he was coming from a place of need. Not the healthy kind of need, the draining kind. The kind that slowly pulls your energy, drains your peace, and burdens your heart without you noticing. God blocked his access because your heart is entering a season where it cannot afford confusion anymore. Your blessings are approaching with divine speed. Your opportunities are aligning. Your spiritual gifts are awakening. You are not going backwards, you are rising. And anyone who carries emotional instability cannot rise with you. His name will shock you because he is someone your heart once trusted, someone your soul once allowed into your emotional space. But God says, not anymore. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing. And finally, beloved soul, this part ends with a divine truth that will anchor your spirit. God reveals the reason this man had to be removed is because your life is shifting into alignment with purpose. You are being shaped for relationships that respect your calling, for connections that honor your soul, for people who celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. This man saw your future and felt intimidated. He sensed your rise and felt uneasy. He recognized your worth but did not want to rise to match it. God is protecting you from emotional delays, spiritual distractions, and hidden intentions that were never meant to sit beside your destiny. And the name that shocks you will become the confirmation that God sees every unseen motive around you. Before we enter the next chapter, breathe deeply and let this truth settle into your spirit. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing. My beloved child, as you step into this part, the spiritual atmosphere around you becomes incredibly loud, because heaven is pouring out a truth that has been waiting to reach you. God says the man he is warning you about carries an emotional shadow that would have slowly dimmed your inner light. He wasn't approaching you because he valued your heart, he was approaching you because he needed the energy your soul produces. Your kindness made him feel powerful. Your attention made him feel important. Your silence made him feel safe. But none of these things were meant to become responsibilities you carry. You were seconds away from walking into a connection that would have placed emotional weight on your shoulders, weight that never belonged to you. That is why God stepped in. That is why this message found you. And that is why your heart is reacting right now. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing. Now hear the deeper truth, because this is the moment where everything finally makes sense. God reveals that this man had been watching your growth quietly, trying to figure out the right angle to enter your life. He wanted to appear as the one who understands you, the one who listens, the one who supports, but none of that was rooted in real intention. It was rooted in curiosity, in emotional dependency, in the desire to borrow your peace because he couldn't generate his own. Heaven saw this. Heaven blocked this. Heaven intervened. Every time you tried to ignore your intuition, God sent another sign. Every time you felt a sudden heaviness around him, that was your angels shielding you. Every delay, every missed message, every sudden distance, it was all protection. His name will shock you because he never looked like a threat. But spiritually, he was not aligned with the future God is preparing for you. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing. And beloved soul, this is the point where your spirit must rise and recognize its own worth. God says the man being removed from your emotional path would have kept you stuck in a loop of uncertainty, moments of closeness followed by moments of distance, mixed signals wrapped in polite words, attention given only when it benefited him. He was not coming toward you to love you, he was coming to lean on you. And God did not create you to be someone's emotional crutch. You are stepping into a season where your value must be protected, your energy must be guarded, and your heart must be honored by those who enter your life. The shock you will feel when his name forms in your mind will not be fear, it will be clarity. It will be confirmation that God never allows his chosen ones to walk into a trap when destiny is calling them forward. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. Blessing.